to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today, Around Kansas starts with a story about Washburn University, one of the oldest universities in the state. Next, we wind up our series about the movie Picnic with a tale of all the obstacles that had to be overcome during filming. Then learn about the book Silver Shoes, written by the Lawrence-based author Paul Miles Schneider. And we'll end with a poem from Ron Wilson. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Good morning. Is it morning again already?
Oh my gosh, I guess so.
It's hard to tell with the clouds and all that, but anyway. I'm Frank Chafin and
I'm Deb Goodrich.
And this is Around Kansas.
And we are around Kansas. Tonight I am staying at the Landmark Bank, which is now a bed and breakfast in lovely Oberlin, Kansas. They're putting me in the Buffalo Bill room. It's my favorite room there. And I'll be speaking there at the Brown Bag Lunch Series tomorrow, and then tomorrow night in Fort Wallace at the Fort Wallace Museum, which is just incredible. So you all come out to see me, and I'll be staying with my friends Jane and Cecil Pierce out at Fort Wallace.
Wow.
Sunday is the concert Michael Martin Murphey is doing for the Home on the Range, so I'll be in Smith Center. And then Saturday, of course, they're having Prairie Days down at Little House on the Prairie down at Independence. I can't be down there, but can't be everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, that is the thing. This time of the year, there's something going on everywhere.
Everywhere, every day.
There are markets, there are festivals, it's unbelievable. People think, oh, let's just drive on through Kansas because there isn't anything to do. Believe me, there's something to do here.
Stop. Get out of the car, get off of I-70, and just travel a little bit. Heather and I stopped at the Kansas Originals. Is that like the Russell exit? They've got two stores in Kansas now. One is at the Turnpike, on the Turnpike, just outside of Topeka. There's the service center just outside of Topeka. So one of the Kansas Original stores is right there. And of course, these are all Kansas homemade things, and they're wonderful. You've got books, and you've got crafts. You've got a lot of the school things, KU, K-State, whatever your school is. You've got just really beautiful, like little windmill carvings, and then they've got stuff that's reminiscent of the post-rock part of Kansas. So you've got little limestone carvings, that look like little bitty post rocks. And of course, where they couldn't put up fences with logs because they didn't have any trees, they had to actually carve them out of rock. So we need to do a story on that.
Yeah, there's a whole scenic byway in the Flint Hills where it's called the Post Rock Drive. So it's really beautiful because you get up in there and you go, wow, you can see for like 26 miles.
Absolutely.
And then you see all of these nicely carved fence posts all along the way. It's very nice.
I grew up on a farm in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and fortunately we had lots of trees. So putting up fence is hard work. I don't know. Putting up hay, we actually put up a hay field one time with pitchforks. I don't know what in the heck. Of course, we didn't have big farms like you've got out here. This was small. It was just like a 4-acre field or something. So my uncle enlisted one of his old Army buddies, and my aunt and myself, I was 15 maybe, we put up that 4-acre field of hay with pitchforks. I understood, things became so much more clear after that. I understood how people got to bed at night after a hard day's work and how they didn't have to diet and all, it all became perfectly clear.
Okay.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back. The historic Topeka Cemetery is the oldest chartered cemetery in the state of Kansas. Founded in 1859, it is the resting place of thousands of soldiers and pioneers, the people that created our state and its institutions. It continues to be the sacred burying ground for Kansas families. Come take a tour of historic grave sites or just enjoy the spectacular view of the Topeka skyline. Call us at 785-233-4132 to arrange a visit.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield.
Welcome back to Around Kansas. And you know, Frank, we were talking about sort of like nepotism. If you've got a TV show like we've got here, you can just talk about your friends and the places you love. And of course, one that's really dear to me is Washburn University. And that's why I stayed in Topeka, actually, was I was a student at Washburn. And very non-traditional student. I had graduated from high school 20 years before that. But Washburn changed my life. It really did. It's a wonderful university, and it's celebrating 150-year anniversary this year.
Yep. Went there myself, and it is a remarkable university. And the growth now with the addition of several buildings on the campus, the new KBI Forensic Science Building.
I can't wait to get inside that.
Oh,
I just can't wait.
It's a beautiful building on
beautiful.
the outside. And of course, the new Living Center over by what used to be Fraternity Row. There's still one there. And I mean, it's amazing. The new reception center that was Morgan Hall. It's just going on to incredible heights. What they need to do next, though, is build more parking space.
Maybe a parking garage.
Yeah, parking
underground
garage
parking or something.
Yeah.
So let's take a look back at 150 years of Washburn University. One of the oldest universities in Kansas, Washburn University celebrates its 150th anniversary this year, and what a history it has. From its founding on the heels of the Civil War, to the 1966 tornado, to the 21st century institution it is today, Washburn has endured, persevered, and triumphed. Washburn University was founded as Lincoln College, a private congregational school, on February 6, 1865. A group of church members had been trying since 1857 to get a college established, but various obstacles and the Civil War hampered their efforts. During the summer and fall of 1865, a two-story building took shape on lots donated by John Ritchie on the corner of 10th and Jackson Streets in downtown Topeka. The front door faced west and had a good view of the state capitol under construction. Since few young people had a high school education at that time, the founders decided to offer a 3-year high school course along with the college curriculum. Classes began on January 3, 1866, with 38 high school students. According to church sources, one of those students was African American. The first 2 college students enrolled in the fall of 1866. The high school was a part of the college until 1918, when it became Washburn Rural High School. Washburn has always admitted women and minorities. There are several well-documented episodes in early athletics of conflicts with opponents forfeiting the game because Washburn refused to play without their black player. In addition to the lots at 10th and Jackson, John Ritchie also gave the present campus of 160 acres to the college for a permanent location. Under the leadership of the second president, Peter McVicker, the college sold the Jackson Street building to the city of Topeka in 1872 and began construction of a larger building on their property, which was 1.5 miles southwest of the city limits at that time. They rented space in downtown buildings for classes until it was completed in 1874. The main building, later named Rice Hall, stood by itself on open prairie that was of higher elevation than the city proper, so the area, as it was developed, was called College Hill. Besides classrooms and the library, the building had dorm rooms for male and female students on separate floors, a kitchen, dining room, chapel, and several apartments for staff. The 1966 tornado devastated the campus, and many classes were held in mobile homes while the university was rebuilt. But Washburn came back and is more beautiful than ever. It is undergoing yet another renovation, all of which has continued the founder's vision of providing an education to any student with the desire to learn. The university is hosting events throughout the year, so visit their website to learn more. And go Bods!
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe, here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com. We're back, and I have been chided again about another shirt that I have that looks like picnic, you know, like it would go on the table. And speaking of picnic, we're going to take one more look at what happened with the behind the scenes of the filming of Picnic in 1955. It took place in like 6 different locations, 6 different towns, mostly in central Kansas: Hutchinson, Halstead, Salina, Newton, and of course William Holden and Kim Novak were the primary stars in it. But anyway, there was a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes during the filming. So
don't you have enough to write a book now, Frank?
Oh, I
do. You just put out a
I
book
do.
with all the stuff you've done, and it's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So really, stay tuned. We're going to have a book on Picnic.
Okay, this has been fun, of course, bringing you all kinds of interesting trivia about the movie Picnic, filmed 60 years ago in and around several towns in the state of Kansas. Insisting on authenticity, actor or director Josh Logan filmed in several Kansas towns, including Hutchinson, only 75 miles from Udall, a town that was leveled by a tornado days after filming began. "It's got to look like Kansas, and it will if I have to kill every last one of you," Logan said. Anyway, his cast, William Holden, suffered a leg gash on a railroad signal light. Kim Novak was stung on the hip by a bee underneath her $500 Jean-Louis gown, and Rosalind Russell was bruised from earlobe to toenail during a wild gamble across a suspension bridge. A local 70-year-old spinster saw her film debut canceled when she broke both legs and several ribs during a fall down an embankment. Filming was interrupted almost daily by hailstorms and wailing tornado warnings. The actual picnic was on a muddy fairground at Halstead, Kansas. Cast and crew were half consumed by carnivorous bugs. Phone calls had to be made from old-time crank telephones at Halstead's Baker Hotel. That's the way it was in 1955 during the filming of the movie Picnic.
From the Land of Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's meet Britt's Garden Acres, a family-owned farm on the outskirts of Manhattan. They grow and sell different types of produce, from strawberries to cabbage and so much more. Their flower selection is just as large, with pansies, petunias, marigolds, well, too many to list here. Supporting local markets and providing healthy and tasty foods is their goal. So in addition to flowers and vegetables, Britt's also offers local grass-fed beef, organic pork, raw honey, and Mexican vanilla, along with fantastic jams and salsas. For a fun family event, grab the kids and come to Britt's for a tour of the farm or a barn party. Plus in the fall, they have a huge pumpkin patch with hayrack rides, corn mazes, and a petting zoo too. For more information, go to britsfarm.com.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
Well-designed container flower gardens bring beauty to your home, at your entry, on your patio, or placed in a special spot in your landscape. Let Jackson's help you select the correct plant combinations which will add the color and style you need and that will survive the summer to provide beauty till frost.
Our annual flat sale is going on now. Choose a flat of 4 packs for just $18.99.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Around Kansas, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. And again, we're back. You're going to get to talk because I'm going to introduce you. There's something about silver shoes that you want to talk about?
Okay, the most famous movie about Kansas is not Picnic.
Well, Wizard of Oz.
Okay. So now maybe it's Picnic, but before this series that Frank did, it was The Wizard of Oz. So The Wizard of Oz, of course, by L. Frank Baum, the original book, has spawned all kinds of movies and other books, and just Wicked. I actually got to see the production of Wicked in London with my 2 girls, with my granddaughter and my daughter. We went to see the production of Wicked. So it's just spawned all kinds of sequels and just offshoots and just more retelling of the story. So one of those is called Silver Shoes. In the original book by L. Frank Baum, Dorothy's slippers were not ruby slippers, they were silver. But in the movie, they thought that the ruby slippers would show up better, so they changed that. The silver shoes were representative, and I think Tom Averill may teach a class in this. It's all about the economy at the time, and they were talking about the silver standard and all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of political and economic references that really, who cares? But the original were silver shoes. So my friend Paul Miles Schneider, who lives in Lawrence, he lived in LA for a time, has written this novel, it's incredible, called Silver Shoes. So we're going to take a look at that. For years, people have thought of The Wizard of Oz as a fairy tale, but Donald Gardner is about to learn the story is true. When Donald Gardner's parents tell him they'll be taking an exciting road trip through Kansas, he openly cringes. He is sure it will be a boring summer vacation, but at one of their final roadside stops on the way home, They are approached by a poor woman offering to sell a curious item, an antique silver shoe. While Donald's mother is initially reluctant, she is ultimately smitten with the shoe and buys it. Donald is skeptical that the shoe is anything more than a relic, but when the new school year starts, he brings it in for show and tell, attempting to impress his classmates. His friends liken it to something out of The Wizard of Oz, and his teacher agrees. The idea is not far-fetched, considering author L. Frank Baum wrote about silver shoes, not ruby slippers, which were strictly in the movie. Yet when he accepts a dare from his two best buddies to try it on, frightening and incredible things begin to happen. Strange animals cry out in the night. Dark, shadowy shapes lurk in distant corners. Scratching sounds are heard just outside his bedroom window. And when he meets George Clark, a reclusive man who has been in hiding and now on the run for many years, Donald finds out there is a lot more to Baum's story than he thinks. Sound far-fetched? The Wizard of Oz has inspired authors and filmmakers alike, and this novel by Paul Miles Schneider, entitled Silver Shoes, is surely one of the most compelling. Paul Miles Schneider was born in New York City and raised in Lawrence, Kansas. At various times, he has been an actor, writer, composer, singer, and arranger. In 2010, he relocated to the Midwest from Los Angeles, where he spent a decade producing and designing DVD, Blu-ray menus, and interactive content for Hollywood films and television shows. Silver Shoes is his first novel, and it was selected as a 2010 Kansas Notable Book by the Kansas Center for the Book and the State Library of Kansas. A sequel, The Powder of Life, was released in 2012. His latest book, More Than Tongue Can Tell, co-authored with Warner Brothers film star Andrea King, was published in 2014. Paul has another interesting connection to Kansas and the West, in that he is, in fact, related to General Nelson Miles. He has appeared at numerous Oz-related events, and surely there will be a big-screen adaptation of Silver Shoes, and this time, the little boy will be the hero. Watch out, Dorothy!
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Join Kansas Wheat, King Arthur Flour, and Red Star Yeast for the 2015 National Festival of Bread, Saturday, June 13th at the Hilton Garden in Manhattan. You won't want to miss it.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
William F. Cody earned the nickname Buffalo Bill, and he had roots in Kansas. He lived in northeast Kansas as a boy. He was a Pony Express rider, went on to be an Indian scout, created a Wild West show that toured the globe. And out west of Oakley, Kansas, there's a big statue which commemorates how Buffalo Bill got his name. This poem is entitled The Legend of Buffalo Bill. In the late 1860s, as the railroad built west, as part of our nation's destiny made manifest, all those railroad workers needed to eat, and the obvious solution was buffalo meat. William F. Cody hired on with the railroad then to hunt buffalo to provide meat for the men. His shooting demonstrated such excellent skill, his friends started calling him Buffalo Bill. But then they found another man using that name, and you can't have two men called the same, so they made a bet, as cowboys do, to see whose claim to the name was true. They had a hunt to see how many buffalo each could shoot. The one who got the most would win the dispute. They rode west of Oakley and started the hunt. The day ended with William F. Cody in front. The other fellow got 46, which was fine, but William F. Cody shot 69. He won that contest and much more, and would be Buffalo Bill Cody forevermore. He formed a Wild West show and toured the globe with wild cowboys and Indians in buffalo robes. He had Annie Oakley, a sharpshooter like they'd never seen. They've performed for the president and even the Queen. Now a monument stands on Oakley's west side, showing Buffalo Bill on his famous hunting ride. For in the history of the West, he is riding there still, the legendary showman known as Buffalo Bill. Happy trails.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.